Hi, welcome back to new tutorial, the part 2 of building a bridge. We go to our last project, open that. That was the bridge. Yeah. We must make them thicker, that are a little bit too thin. So we take here modifier, we take a solidify, and with thickness, so you can say how thick it should be. Think that is good. We see the other side is not the same, so we go there, mark them and delete that, so that we can use a mirror modifier on it. So we get here a mirror modifier, make it on the y-axis. So we see that, we go in the edit mode, mark all and push them together, make that without proportional editing, look from top and adjust it that it fits with the rest. Okay. Yes. From top view, I saw yesterday that there are some errors in there, so we cut out this here and make here a new bridge. So if we had space, I make before the screencast is also okay. When we need space, then of search, you can search your thing that you want to do with this function. So I want to bridge edge loop, bridge edge loop, there is it, return, and then he makes this. Okay, so that's a little bit better, I think, and when we drag them in a little, you can make it perfectly, but for me now it's okay. Good. That is what we want to have. Well, yesterday we spoken about that lines would come straight to. That are, let me count, 16. So we start with one of them. So we build here a new cube, make them scaled like this, and scale and set to get the middle is the highest, I think. So we need 16 from that. So we take here a modifier on it, array modifier, and give them here a little bit more, so that we can do something like that. We can track them later correctly. So 16 we need, so we have that 16. Now we push them to our bridge, and you see we must tweak it a little, so that means we scale it. That could be fine, we scaled in set 2, so that we have this. We now must look that we put the down part on the bridge object. So we put it in there, some in the middle, such like this. You see it looks a little bit out here, so we must go a little bit in. Yes, wonderful. We look from the front, go in the edit mode, mark the middle value there. It's not applied. Yeah. So that's bad. So we applied array. Now we can mark the middle one, take proportional editing with enable, then grab to the set, means I disable that and get this one, next one, and treat them in the middle. Surely you can make it with proportional editing and this faster and so on. But for such little things, we can handle that per hand. That is not a problem, I think. If it's more than okay, then you can make your brain starting like something else. You do such stuff. There are many ways to do it, but this is a simple way and it works. So when we look now from the side or from the top, we will see that some of them don't fit with the roundness of these outer lines, so now we must tweak. We make that out so that we get only the top part. Then we mark them and drag them to our line there, and then it fits correctly with the rest. So here you can make it with Z so you can see it correctly like you would. There, middle, there, middle, there. That is all good. We make here material mode, and we see it fits correctly. So with Shift D we make a copy of them and say apply location scale and give them mirror 2, and then we have it in the other direction that we need to put it on this side. It's now in this position, so we must narrow them again, such like this, and then you can put it in, and all is fine. So here, let's look what we get there. Okay. Here, so that's better. Yeah, you see, it must tweak a little, I think. We get this one here a little bit down, and this one a little bit down, and say that's 2. Something's going wrong there. I delete this whole thing again. Delete and make here a narrow modifier on it. So that works too. And we must have a distance between them. So we take that. Yes. And then we put them in place. Good. Can a little bit more. Yes. Good. That was the bridge types. Then we see here this middle part there, and the street down under it. So for the street we simply make a plane, a cube. So add mesh cube, make a little bit smaller, something like that, and more. Okay, and scale it to the completely size of the bridge in the X. So scale it X. Yes. Then scale it in the set to make them small, and put him down under the bridge, and original there is some of these parts here for don't falling down or something else. So you can make it with a texture is better than make it with models, with 3D models, objects, because that needs much words, yeah, and I don't want to spend too much words in this project in my game. So I mark the both of the side and extrude them out so that we get this, and then later I make there an alpha texture on it so it looks like it is like that. Okay, then we need this little part I told before. There's that one here. We make a simple cube 2, so add mesh cube and make them a little bit smaller, such like that, and the X down, and scale them in the Z and bringing down, scale Y, scale X, scale Z. Okay, so I think that is good for now. Then we make here the grass and down under the water. So we get a plane here. Add mesh plane, make them greater, like this. That should be the grass and other things there. So we make here 2 loops in, throw on 2 loops, scale in the X to say where it starts to go down to the river, and again 2 loops to say where is the river. I think that can be good, and then we drag that simply down. That is the water later, and that is the grass. So all that we need now is coloring and texturing, and that is what we make next. For the bridge we give a simple material because she has an original simple material, so we name it bridge material. Bridge. We give them, we can make it with a pipette, so that we take the original color, so it here in this pipette we can get this gray, and then it's the same gray as the other stuff. You see it now here on this part. We can join them all together. We mark all and join them. Take care, you must apply the mirror modifier before you do that. Then you can join them together as well. For my game I don't want to apply them, so I make it all manually. I give them here this bridge material, that here the bridge material 2, this one, and this, and this. So we have the bridge material. Now we need for that here, we need water. So water, and we'll make a material for grass. So we'll call it grass. Then we give them here water is that. So we take an image of water. I have it on my textures folder. You can get them from textures.com. There are my 2. So textures, water, something like that. Okay. Then we need grass. So we get here on this point, image texture, and give with open the path to the graphic. So I go here to grass, and I think a good grass can be this maybe. I think the easiest is that. Okay. Why we don't see it? Because we haven't unwrapped that here. So we have to do that. We go in edit mode, mark all with A, U to unwrap, and we make from view bounds, so it fits together with the rest. And then we give these two things to grass material and this to grass material too. That is now too big for this proportion of the bridge. So we go here in the node editor, so we can tweak the materials that we made. Node editor, we are on the grass now, and you see the grass it's too big. So we need to scale them, and we need texture coordinates. Where are the textures laying on? And then we need a vector with mapping node. This mapping node, with that you can rotate the texture, you can scale them, or you can change the location of them. In this case we want to make them smaller, so we give here 9, here 9 too, and you see it's smaller. When I look there, not the best texture to do that, so we try another. So we look what we have there. This we take now. We try that a little bit better. Not real good, but good enough. Okay, for the water, I think we can go smaller too. So with shift we can mark them. With control C we can make a copy of them. Go to water, control V, and you can put them in. And that is a little bit too much for that, but I think 6 is a good value for that. So we got that. When you want to have a little shine on that material, so you can add a glossy shader to make it a little bit glossy. Here have you preview from this material, that is the material, and now we mix that material with a glossy shader, so we need a mix shader, and we need a glossy shader, and bring them into this, and you see it changes. The roughness says how glossy it should be, and in our case it should be not too glossy. Something like that is good, I think. Good. When you want that is not so even like our materials now, then you can make another mix shader with a factor from the internal texture, and I take noise texture that makes some ugly stuff there. Yeah, and you can take that as a factor to mix colors together. So when I get another diffuse shader and get them in here and make them a little bit darker than the other, and then I say this noise should be make the mix of that, and then you see it's like, yeah, like some little scale effect, you can drag it with the scale here, like you want to have it. Then it looks a little bit more nature. Okay, we see here we must make it a little bit better fitting. So we take this part and make it up. Okay, so we have that. We save that. The same you can make with the water, that you make there a mix shader with glossy, so you can copy them and make them on the water, plug them in. You can cut with control and left mouse, then you can make other things coming in there. You see here what you have. Water has much roughness, less roughness. It's water. So you can also take a class shader instead of diffuse shader, so it looks more realistic. You can try that. So it looks like that. And if you want to have more 3D, you can make the displacement from the graphics input, and then it will give them a depth. When we now render that, you see it has a depth. You can control the depth because normally it's too heavy when you plug it directly into it. So when you get a converter math node, with this math node you can tweak the heaviness, the strength of the deepness. Yeah. We take a multiply, and normally good value is 0.003, so it's light effect, but not too much. Okay, to let it look good, you can do the same with the grass, like you want. If you want, yes. If not, not really problem. Some like it, some say, oh no, what a shit effect. You can't take that for that. But you know that. So, if you like it, try it. Oh no, it crashed. What a motherfucking shit. Okay. So I got it again. So we go on. Last that I did is the water material and the grass material. I plugged the image also in a glossy shader, so it gives a natural look then when you mix it with white. Yeah. So that's good for that. Okay. Then I plugged in this multiply for the displays there. Now to get a realistic effect, we need also the right light. So we have here the lamp. In a moment is a point light. We make a sunlight from there. You see there is it, and it comes straight down, so we can rotate them a little bit, such like that. Okay, that means how sharp is the shadow from our sun. I make it a little bit sharper with 0.3, and it should cast the bounces. We must look later. We use nodes for it and a little blue. Okay, that is that. Safe. Then for good colors you need a really good background image, like an HDMI, and I delete all that I don't need more. Of course, that we've done all. Okay, here are some things. Delete them. Okay, and file save. Okay, so I get a background. Here's the world. Then we use nodes for that background and give them an environment texture as background. Open. Give them the path to this texture. In this case is here, and see I have some of them, and I think for this we can get this one or this one. I take this one, and then we have another light here, so it will look more realistic than before. Uh, this looks so wired because there is no ground there. In your case, you should do a ground there that you can look through the border and see the ground. That makes it more realistic. But you see, the bridge in the water comes, the shadows comes. That's all good. This here are the fireflies. That is because of the sun. That is too much for them. There are many ways to clean it up. In this case, I make the bounce down, and let me show again. Bounce down, and it is better, but not completely. So we have the possibility to make here a less light, or we can drag down the strange of our background. That makes it darker. Or you can do it with this part here, where we got it. Moment, I must look. Clamp indirect, that clamp indirect with 003. You get normally good looking result. Yeah, that is a good looking result for me. Good. Then I go to the normal mode here. We spoken about this lines there, so we must do them. For that we need an orthographic view, and we make one of these lines and take them as a texture. So we go here to camera, we need an orthographic view. We must reset all that we rotated and make with them. So we go with N in the panel, and there you can see the rotation. We make them all to 0, so it looks straight from down. Then we go to up view and make one of these objects there. So how we do that? We add a mesh, a cube. It's only for the view. It's nothing. It must be correctly. It's only we build now a texture in Blender itself. That is what we do now. Scale and Y and Shift D and rotate Y 90 degrees in the set. Rotate set 90 degrees and scale them down a little bit on Y. Something like that, I think. Good. Then we duplicate them and make some like this. That must be enough. We make one copy more when we want to close it, or we can make it so that's not the problem. Okay. Oh yeah. So now we make a picture of them. So we go with the camera about it, and look from top to it, and with the scale we go onto it. We make it nearly fit to the original. So we tweak here that we reach a good result. Okay, that is enough. We want to have it with alpha channel, so we say here we want to have an alpha channel that's transparent here. the film should be transparent in render values, and then we can render that, and we got this result. We can make directly the material on it, this bridge material, bridge. You can join it and make it with one click, but okay. So bridge. Okay, we got all this stuff, and maybe unwrap them. Join them together as first, and unwrap from normally unwrap. Oh yeah, you must before apply rotation scale from the object because we changed that. Now we take an unwrap, smart UV unwrap. Don't look better because we had other size here than the rest of this, but we have much options. We can make it from view and scale them or something else, but we have the color. So we render that, like I said before. And must save it then as a PNG. You have this alpha channel with it. So we save it, image, save as image. Important is that we have here in PNG with alpha channel with this A here. 8-bit is enough for our stuff there. Then we name it lines 2 or something else. Save. I must look. We are in downloads. No, we must go to the original folder because later you search for them. Where have I put it? There is in the folder where you work. Good. That was that. Now we want to put this alpha channel on this bridge. So we must have click the bridge and give them this alpha. So we give them name lines alpha. Oh, I don't know how I type. Yeah, okay. So we give it to this both sides here, to this side and the other. Come here. Good. Lines. Okay. Here. Lines. Okay. So, and we get an alpha channel in there. That is our material in the moment, and we need to make the alpha in there. So we need a mix shader. We need a transparent shader for the holes in this structure there. So we get here a transparent shader. Then we need the texture coordinates and this whole shit there, like before, mapping, UV. Okay. Now when I have a 50-50, we make it here. We see there. Now we must take the alpha channel as a factor to mix transparency and color. So we need to have this texture in there with image texture. We put it in this folder and now named it line 2, so we take that and take that as a factor, and you see we have only the line standing and the rest is transparent. So we must have a look. We must surely unwrap that correctly. That is surely important. So we make a smart UV project, I think, or we can make a mapping. Oh, we don't apply it, the rotation scale. So object, apply rotation scale, UV unwrap and look, and see that we see nothing. That's not bad either. Good. We go near and we see what we get there. We got nothing. It's a start, yeah. We don't. From this view it's okay, but from this view it looks wired. Because of what? That is a good question. We must search the failure of that. Lines alpha set. I want to have it on there and on there. So I try to make this off. Then it must complete transparent. 50-50 transparent, so that is correct. So when we take the color as a vector, then we see we got here that the material is transparent too. So we take the alpha channel to build this correctly. Good, what we got there, we put it in there. Okay, that we have. So I make a little moment. We can make them like this. Then it's black and it's the other way we did it. Now we try to render that. Sometimes it is in the preview mode from this render, not there, but when you render that really, then you see it. So I must know that. Rotate, set, we will look at it, grab, rotate, set, see from the side. Okay, back again. I tried again, and it was, like I said, it was sometimes Blender makes such, so I marked this line behind there and say unwrap from view and make here the same, mark them, unwrap from view. Then we can say we want to make it a little smaller, 10 to 10, something like that. And then you see you will get this transparent things there. We see that is too much space between them in the moment, so we need here to go higher. We try 40 and 40, so that looks better, and it don't need such much words as we did it with objects. That is the positive thing on that, to use alpha channels, textures and so on. Good.